Giving honor to the evangelist, Dr. Irvin C. Jackson, honor to the minister leaders and to everyone in their respective places, honor also to our visitors. It is also an honor for me to be given this opportunity to share with you all from the assignment given from the subject titled Self-Control. While looking at the topic this morning, we can clearly see the question of clarity, which reads, what is self-control? Amen. What is it? What does it come from? And if it's something that is needed, how can we master it? Can we say that it is the ability of control? Can we say that self-control is the ability to control one's behavior, one's desire? Can we say that it is the ability of controlling one's emotion? Can we call it a capacity? A capacity which is programmed to stop an individual from honoring a request that may not be in their best interest. Because when we look at the scientific studies from psychology, we realize that they're always talking about the brain. The brain. They love to talk about the brain and the mind and its ability, as well as the brain's inability. The inability of how the brain can be in control at one moment and out of the control in another moment. It's just like a left hand and a right hand in your mind. The ability from being persistent and being confident. The inability from being doubtful or being a person who does not believe, an unbeliever. Yeah, they love to talk about the brain and how it functions. But in other words, I want you all to know that in order for us to have this thing called self-control, this thought process that kicks in sometimes when we are in need, I say to you, we must be obedient to something. Amen. Let me say that again. In order to have this thing called self-control, we must be obedient to something. Let me give you an illustrated picture of what I mean. When I was just a little jitterbug, not too long ago, amen, when I was a little jitterbug, like that little boy right there, when I was like maybe about 12 years old or 13 years old, I fell in love with this sport called the martial arts. Yeah, I fell in love with it. Me and this particular sport, immediately we connected. It became a part of me, and when it was time to go to school, I couldn't wait till school was over, because after school I knew I was going home to get my gi, which is the uniform, and wrap it up and go to the karate class. Yeah, I couldn't wait. I was serious about this sport and to participate into it, because I knew it was good for my mind. My instructor was a U.S. Army Green Beret Special Forces soldier who learned this particular partially of this sport in overseas, this Japanese sport. Amen. And I was captivated, amen, when he came back from overseas and he taught us this sport. I was captivated by his lessons of dedication, his lessons of discipline, and the meditation of self-control. Amen. I had to be around this teacher. My instructor, to me, was like the disciples to Christ. Yeah, and we know that the disciples, they wanted to be around Christ. They wanted to receive what he had to share with them. They wanted to be like Jesus. Yeah, and so I was hungry. Yeah. Amen. For this, to receive what was freely given to my karate instructor. All right. This lesson of dedication, the lesson of discipline, yeah, and the meditation of self-control. Yeah, I couldn't wait that when it was time for us to go to the martial arts, all right, and to the classes and to participate, because I knew that I was going to learn something that was good, yes, for my mind. And he used to teach us. I would have loved to have that mic. But I couldn't wait, because when we get into the class, sometimes he would teach us, how to get into the stand, and how he would tell us to do the front pump kick, and the high lunge, and the punch, and the reverse punch, and the ridge hand, and the shoot those chop, and the strike under the throat there, and pull, and to strike, and to draw, pull, and to sweep, and to kick, and to punch. I wanted to learn these things from my instructor. But one thing that I remember that he drilled in our mind over and over again about how important that we only use it that if it was self-defense, or that if it was in competition. Competition or self-defense, he would say. And when I went to school, and sometimes when my teacher would make me mad by giving me a F plus, I knew that I should have got a D minus. She gave me an F plus, and I was mad, but I was disciplined from my teacher's discipline. I was disciplined from his teaching, and so I had self-control. So I would take the F plus and move on. And when the students like him would make me mad, long as they didn't touch me, I had this ability to be in control of my actions. Amen. I had this thing, what I'm talking about. What are we talking about? Self-control. I had self-control, and I didn't fight. In my whole life, I had only maybe 2 fights in my whole life. But some of us, when we were kids, some of us, amen, we can't go for that. I don't want to call nobody's name, but how you doing, Brother Leonard? Brother Leonard? Yeah. Brother Leonard settled. Amen. He used to fight all the time. Matter of fact, he used to be a bully, y'all. Yeah. And so, I'm sorry. But if Brother Savage was to learn the martial arts, all that stuff that I learned back in the day, he probably would have just been getting out of jail around now. But what I'm saying to you is that it is a beautiful thing that helps you to have this thing, what I'm talking about, self-control, the discipline that you could learn from some of these sports. Jesus says in the book of John 15 and 5, he says, I am the vine, you are the branches. And he continued to go on to talk about how if you abide in me and live in me and remain yourself in me, that you would what? You would bear many fruit. And this thing, what we're talking about, self-control, it is ability that we can what? We can label it as a fruit. Amen. And he says that if you want these things, that you can ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. I love it when the Lord said to Joshua, as Brother Fred was speaking about Joshua, how he commanded him to be thou strong and of very good courage. And somehow or another, we realize that we prayed for self-control, but somehow or another we can't see it. We need to search our lifestyle, like I did in illustration, shared with you on that illustration. Search our lifestyle and how we have seen this thing called self-control when we respect people that is older than us, our mothers, our fathers, when we're on our job, when we have this self-control to our boss man. Amen. Even when the policeman, when the policeman, would you stop you, y'all have this thing, it is completely programmed within inside of you. Self-control. Why? Because you do not want no ticket, right? Yeah, so these things is what I'm saying. We need to exercise these things, this thing called self-control in the areas that we feel that it is in need. My time is up.